What if I told you that a silent decision taken by a small desert nation has the power to shake the entire global economy? No missiles were fired, no war was declared, and no dramatic headlines appeared overnight. Yet, behind the scenes, something so powerful was set into motion that it could completely change how the world receives its oil. For decades, one narrow waterway has controlled the fate of global trade and energy supply, a choke point so critical that even a small disruption there could send shockwaves across the entire planet. But now, that power is quietly slipping away, and the country behind this transformation is none other than the United Arab Emirates. Welcome to USA File, where today we uncover a hidden strategy that is silently rewriting the rules of global power. For years, the Strait of Hormuz has been the lifeline of the global oil economy. Nearly 30% of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow stretch of water, making it one of the most strategically important locations on Earth. Imagine the entire world depending on a single route for such a massive portion of its energy needs. Now, imagine what would happen if that route suddenly got blocked. Oil prices would skyrocket within hours. Global markets would panic, and industries across continents would begin to collapse. This is why the Strait of Hormuz has always been more than just a waterway. It has been a pressure point, a geopolitical weapon. For years, Iran has used this very leverage to send strong warnings to the world, repeatedly suggesting that if tensions rise, it could shut down this route completely. These threats alone have been enough to keep global powers on edge. But while the world remained focused on these tensions, something unexpected was happening quietly in the background. The United Arab Emirates, instead of reacting to threats, decided to eliminate them altogether, without attracting global attention, without creating panic, and without making bold announcements. The UAE began working on a project that would eventually change everything. Deep beneath deserts and through rugged mountains, a massive pipeline was being constructed with one clear goal: to bypass the Strait of Hormuz entirely. This was not just another infrastructure project. It was a calculated move, a long-term strategy designed to secure the country's economic future and free it from external pressure. This project, known as the Habshan to Fujairah pipeline, is nothing short of a masterpiece in strategic planning. Instead of sending oil through the risky and politically sensitive Strait of Hormuz, this pipeline transports it directly to the port of Fujairah, which lies on the Arabian Sea, completely outside the strait. This means that even if tensions escalate or conflict breaks out in the region, the UAE can continue exporting oil without interruption. For the first time in modern history, a major oil-producing nation has successfully reduced its dependence on one of the world's most dangerous choke points. This is not just a technical achievement, it is a geopolitical shift that could redefine power dynamics in the region. The transformation of Fujairah itself tells an equally powerful story. Once considered a quiet coastal town, it is now rapidly evolving into a major global energy hub. Massive oil tankers no longer need to navigate the narrow and risky waters of the Persian Gulf. Instead, they can dock directly at Fujairah, saving both time and fuel while significantly reducing risk. The UAE has also constructed some of the largest underground oil storage facilities in the world in this region. These reserves are so vast that even if global supply chains are disrupted, oil can continue to be supplied for weeks without interruption. This level of preparedness reflects not just planning, but vision on understanding of how global crises unfold and how to stay ahead of them. What makes this entire strategy even more remarkable is the mindset behind it. The leadership of the UAE understood a simple but powerful truth. Having oil is not enough. The ability to deliver it safely is what truly matters. Instead of waiting for a crisis to occur, they invested billions of dollars to ensure that such a crisis would never affect them directly. This proactive approach has not only secured their economy, but has also elevated their position on the global stage. Today, the UAE is no longer seen as just a resource-rich nation. It is viewed as a strategic power capable of shaping its own destiny. For Iran, however, this development presents a completely different reality. For years, the control over the Strait of Hormuz provided a sense of dominance and influence in global politics. It was a tool that could be used to apply pressure and gain leverage. But with the emergence of this alternative route, that advantage is beginning to weaken. The existence of a bypass means that the world is no longer entirely dependent on a single route, and with that, the power of control starts to fade. This shift could lead to new dynamics in regional politics, potentially reducing tensions or, in some cases, creating new forms of competition. Beyond geopolitics, the impact of this development reaches everyday life across the globe. Stable oil supply means stable fuel prices, controlled inflation, and smoother functioning of economies. On the other hand, any disruption in supply can trigger a chain reaction that affects everything from transportation to food prices. By creating a secure and reliable alternative route, the UAE has effectively added a layer of protection to the global economy. This is not just about one country securing its interests. It is about maintaining stability in a system that billions of people depend on. Another fascinating aspect of this project is the advanced technology used to protect it. The pipeline is monitored using state-of-the-art sensors and surveillance systems capable of detecting even the slightest irregularity. It has been strategically routed through mountains and underground paths to protect it from potential attacks. This makes it not only an economic asset but also a highly secure one. In many ways, it acts as an invisible shield, ensuring that the flow of energy remains uninterrupted regardless of external threats. The ripple effect of this project is already being felt across the region. Other Gulf countries are closely observing this model and considering similar strategies. If more nations adopt this approach, the entire region could gradually reduce its reliance on the Strait of Hormuz. This could lead to the formation of a new economic framework, one that prioritizes stability, efficiency, and independence over traditional geopolitical constraints. Such a shift would not only reshape regional dynamics, but could also influence global trade patterns for decades to come. At a deeper level, this entire story highlights how the nature of power is evolving in the modern world. It is no longer defined solely by military strength or political influence. Today, true power lies in foresight, planning, and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. The UAE did not engage in confrontation or escalate tensions. Instead, it chose a smarter path, one that quietly neutralized a major threat without firing a single shot. This is a lesson for nations around the world. Sometimes, the most effective way to win is not to fight, but to out. As we look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that this is more than just an infrastructure project. It is a symbol of transformation, a demonstration of how strategic thinking can alter the course of history. The Strait of Hormuz still exists, and it will continue to play a role in global trade. But its absolute dominance, the fear associated with it, and the control it once represented are slowly diminishing. In its place, a new system is emerging, one that is more flexible, more resilient, and less vulnerable to disruption. In the end, this story is about vision and courage. A nation looked at a long-standing global vulnerability and decided to change the equation entirely. It invested in the future, took calculated risks, and executed a plan with precision. Today, the results speak for themselves. The UAE has not only secured its own position, but has also influenced the global balance of power in a way that will be remembered for decades. If you want to stay ahead of such hidden global shifts, if you want to understand how the world is really changing beyond the headlines, then make sure to subscribe to USA File. Like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this move will bring long-term stability? Or could it trigger new tensions in the region? Because one thing is certain, the next big change in the world might already be happening, quietly, just like this one.